Hey guys, it's Jenna here, and tonight I just kind of randomly decided to go live because I was doing one of my updates for my vlogs, and I was like, you know, I'm feeling like in a really jittery mood. I'm like feeling very awake, and so that's where my idea was born. I was just like, oh my god, this would be the perfect opportunity to do a readathon because I'm super behind on my reading and I'm like, I'm feeling awake enough. And it's a Saturday, so I'm just gonna do it. Hello, I am great. Um, but yeah, it was kind of a spur of the moment, and by spur of the moment, I mean I just decided 5 minutes ago that I was gonna start a readathon at midnight. Um, so I thought I would show you guys what I plan to read for it. So, because it's in my vlog, and you guys obviously won't see my vlog by the time I'm reading, so I figured I'd go over it live. And so, the first thing I'm going to be reading is not this whole book, but I need to get a certain page count for City of Bones done. I need to get up to like page 225, I think. Yeah. I need to get to page 225 of this. And then, but I'm planning to read that like from 9 until midnight when the readathon starts, so I might actually be able to get up or close to my page count. And then I also have to get 75 pages of Titan's Curse read, which will like breeze by me. It probably won't even like take me an hour. So yeah. Then the actual readathon material. So I've been doing this thing where I've been like scheduling my reading, like a certain amount of pages a day and yada yada yada. It's been like seriously helping me improve my reading count for the month, and it does have its flaws. Like sometimes I'll schedule in books that I don't know about, but I'll like put them in there, and then when I get into them I end up not liking them, so I DNF them, and that usually ends up in me having to rewrite the whole schedule. Sometimes I'm busier than other nights, and I like miss reading and have to double up on it the next day. But overall, it's really helped me like improve how much I read. And so far, I already have 8 books read this month, and that hasn't happened to me in quite a while. But the books, anyways, as I was saying, the books that I was having a problem with fitting into my schedule for the rest of the month were A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury. So, A Court of Frost and Starlight is coming out in a couple weeks on my birthday, and that is a book that I'm hoping my dad pre-ordered for my birthday because he won't let me pre-order it myself because he said it's too close to my birthday. Moving on. But even if he doesn't pre-order it, I am going straight to Barnes & Noble with my birthday money and buying that book. So, I want to reread the whole series before that comes out and before I reread it. And before I read it. So, I was having a really hard time scheduling these in. I mean, as you can see, I scheduled to read like giant chunks of this at a time. But I can tell it's not going to happen. So maybe if I do a readathon to knock some of my books out of the way, it'll kind of like help the reading process along easier. I don't know. But yeah, so I very spur of the moment was just like filming an update for my vlog, and then I was like saying something, and then I got off track, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could do a readathon. And I'm like, wait, I actually could. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do one. And that was that. And now I'm going live so that I actually go through with it because I'm feeling more awake than I usually do before all my readathons. So, I feel like this is a better start than most, so I figured I would do the traditional Q&A before readathon, and yes, I suck at readathons, so I'm hoping this one will be one of my first very successful ones. I had a pretty successful one. I think I read a book and a half one time. That actually does kind of count, but I did fall asleep, so I feel like I want to do an actual readathon by Zoe readathon where like actually stay up the whole time. I know I'm gonna regret it on Monday like when I go into school with like having hardly any sleep. But then again, I could just sleep most of Sunday. That's not true. That's not true. I plan to read my pages for City of Bones, which I have to get to page 225, and I'm currently on page 110. So I might actually be able to finish these pages before I start the readathon. We'll see. But I also have to get through my 75 pages of Titan's Curse. And then the books that I plan to read mainly for the readathon are Court of Thorns and Roses and Court of Mist and Fury. Mostly this one, because I don't know if I'll get to this one. I love City of Bones. This is actually a reread for me. I reread it because I was watching the movie, and I felt really nostalgic, and I'm like, oh my god, I miss the Shadowhunters. So, I crammed it into my busy reading schedule, and I'm really liking it. I'm at the part where she's with Madame Dorothea, and she finds that portal. But yeah, so now that I'm doing a traditional readathon, feel free to ask me any questions you guys have, because I always love answering questions that you guys have, because I am a person who never gets tired of talking about books, as you can see if you watch my channel. I love Avatar so much. This is gonna be my third time rereading these two. No, actually, this is gonna be my third time rereading Court of Thorns and Roses, my fourth time rereading Court of Mist and Fury, and it'll be my second time rereading Court of Wings and Ruin, because I haven't reread that one yet, because it's significantly larger than the other two. It's actually like 700 pages, so I also just placed my biggest book outlet order ever, and that's going to be coming the weekend of my birthday party. I get to open it on Friday the 4th. It's going to come around my birthday, but yeah, I'm super excited. They have a ginormous sale going on right now, and I mean, it's huge. It's the deal where if you spend, hang on, I can find it, I'm on their site right now. If you spend $25+, you save $5, and I mean, like, you can spend $25 up to $50, and that price will just be, like, removed from your cart, like $5 will be taken off. If you spend $50+, you save $10, and then if you spend $75+, $20 will be taken off your order. Needless to say, I just got 20+ books for, $55. Now would be the time to get them, because this sale is even bigger than their Black Friday sale. I was like, I can't pass this up. I will do as much labor as it takes. I was on a book buying ban placed by my father, but I conned my way out of it. Which means I have to serve as the maid in the house for a while to pay off my book debt. But it's okay, because when my job comes back next month, I won't have to, like, be a maid. I can just serve ice cream to people, and it'll be great. But, yes, feel free to ask me any questions, because I love answering them. And I always do a Q&A before my readathon, so I figured, why not do it now, so that people know I'm doing a readathon, like, 3 hours before I do it. It's been a while since I actually attempted a readathon, so kind of nervous about this one. I have some plans, but I don't know how well. I'm really unpredictable lately, because usually now is when I start getting into the contemporary mood, and that's just not happening. Like, my sci-fi mood has not gone away. Like, I'm still in the sci-fi mood. But so far, I think I have planned to read The Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom in June, because I need to finish the Grisha trilogy in May. I also want to reread the Heroes of Olympus books, that was a plan that I had. Because I'm doing the Percy Jackson books this month and finishing them in May. I literally had a planned out page, but now I can't find. Oh, here it is. Yeah, and I'm just really trying to wrap up the, what's it called? Throne of Glass series. Yes, my reading goals for April are going phenomenally. I have found some problems with my scheduling, though. Like, the way I do it is, like, okay, where's a good example? Okay, this is a good example. So I mark up a book like this, and I pick a certain amount of pages that I want to get through. So I chose 75 pages for this book. And I marked it off every 75 pages until it got to the acknowledgments. So then I know how many pages, or how many days it would take at reading 75 pages a day to finish this book. And for example, I did 75 for this one. I did like 80 for Sea of Monsters, and I was able to finish it in like 2 days. And so I mark them up like that, and then I go through and buy like weekly and then buy daily. I've been kind of reading like 2 or 3 books at once and just reading a certain amount of pages a day. And that's been going pretty good. The only problem I found is that when I pick up a book that I don't actually end up liking in like DNF, I have to rewrite the schedule because then everything's out of whack, and then I replace the book that I DNF with something that I'd rather read. And I've actually had to rewrite my April schedule like 3 times because I keep taking books out, or I fell behind on my reading, or I read something different. And I mean, the only other problem is that I keep having to double up on my reading because some days I'm busier than others. Like right now, the reason I have to get through so much of City of Bones is because I didn't do any of my reading for it because I was so busy doing homework this week. But I got through my 75 pages from Thursday, and now I'm working on Fridays. Almost done with Fridays. Then I just have today's to get through. And then Titan's Curse is today's reading, and I'm not worried about that at all because the Percy Jackson books are like so easy for me to get through because I love them so much. But overall, it's going really good, and I think I'm actually going to continue the scheduling that way for May because it's really working out for me. I mean, I'm usually lucky to even wrap up like 6 books for the month, which is what I was averaging for the beginning of the year. But I'm already at 8, and it's only the 21st. So if my scheduling goes according to plan, I should be wrapping up 12 books this month. Favorite kind of books are fantasy. I love fantasy. Like, they are my bread and butter. I just love them. Yeah, if I read the way I have scheduled, I'm going to be wrapping up 12 or more books this month. Because it's very possible that if I read Court of Thorns and Roses, I can, like, add another book to the end of my schedule. And that would be awesome. I was actually the same way last year. In 2017 of August, I only read 1 book, and that 1 book was actually this book for the first time. And I was just so disappointed. I was like so sad. I was in a slump then, and I was working a lot, and I also had fair that month, but I just felt so like empty because I love reading. Like, it just makes me feel so much better. But that's why I'm so happy with how my reading's going lately, is because I'm getting through so many good books. I haven't like had any disappointing reads lately, and it's great. I mean, there's some books that I put down because I'm not in the mood for them, but, and yes, I did love Thug so much. I loved it. My book club actually just hosted a discussion about that because that was our book club book. I was apparently the only one who, like, fiercely loved it, which I found super disappointing. Yes, this is a new system, and if you guys are interested, I could do my May schedule, because I've been meaning to do it anyways. After my readathon, I was going to do my May scheduling to see how many books I get through, and then post it, and I could, if that's something you guys would be interested in, I could do a walkthrough of how I schedule. And I'm also trying to incorporate this buddy reading program because I've had some buddy reading requests. So how that would work is, so basically I would write out my May format for how I would do my reading schedule, and which it's a good thing that I just stocked up on 1,000 sticky notes, because this the scheduling business I have going takes up a lot of sticky notes, which I mean I reuse all of them, but it still takes a lot. And then for my buddy reading, I'm rereading the Shatter Me series with Melissa over at Sassy Ginger Book Obsession. She's reading it for the first time, and then I'm rereading the first three, and then we're gonna buddy read Restore Me because it just came out and I haven't read that one yet. So we're buddy reading that one. I've had a couple requests to buddy read, and I don't think I'm gonna be buddy read. I might buddy read for May, but most of them are sequels. And I'm actually planning to annotate my paperback copies of the Akotar series after I get Court of Wings and Ruin in paperback and A Court of Thorns and Roses in hardcover. I'm going to annotate my paperbacks. I usually don't do it regularly because I just don't, but because I've never done it before. But I definitely want to annotate the Akotar series. But yeah, that's something I have in the works. I think I'm just going to end up putting all the books that I have to read for the month of May in a Google Docs, and then putting when I plan to read them. And if you guys are interested, I'll leave it linked in the video for my TBR. I'll probably have to post my TBR a little bit ahead of time to give people some time to get in the buddy reads. And yeah, it's a process. Like I haven't really thought through it all yet, but it's coming along, and I'm glad I thought of it earlier before May, so I'm not freaking out. But yeah, I couldn't do the defacing because I'm not artistic at all. I've seen a lot of really pretty defacing videos where they draw in it, to draw in it. It's so pretty, and I just wish I was so artistic. I actually saw this one girl who did crazy amazing artwork in here. She drew Valaris and Reese, and she did this cool freaking thing with Feyre on the cover with constellations, and it was so pretty. I wish I had that kind of artistic stuff in my system, but alas, the only thing I'm good at is reading way too much. But yeah, so I have a lot of plans. I'm just struggling with figuring out how to execute them. And somebody also gave me the idea, one of my viewers actually, of doing a book club on my channel. She said I could just pick a book for the month, and then whoever wanted to, it would be a group buddy read, and then at the end we could do a live stream. The animals are great. I actually tonight I just printed off all my fair papers that I need to show. There are 12 packets. So I need to figure out what I'm doing. But yeah, she suggested to do pick a book, we would all read it, and then we would have mid-book discussions, and then at the end I would live stream and we could all talk about it. I still haven't figured out how to do it, how I want to do it yet, or how I would go about doing it. And that's kind of where I'm torn with my scheduling and my buddy reading too. Because me and Melissa, she's a really good friend of mine on BookTube. And we're it just worked out really well when we buddy read Shatter Me. And I'm not really concerned about the rest of the series because it's just it was so casual and it was so nice. But I don't know how it's going to go if I just put it in a Google Doc and you all just write down your names. Multiple people can buddy read a book with me, and that's why I'm opening up a Google Doc. But, I don't know, it's just weird because I have to, fit it into my scheduling, which books I'm going to read when. I don't know. It's just going to be a little bit weird, but I really want to try it to see how it is. And, yeah. Actually, one of my most recent vlogs, I ended up finishing 4 books in 1 week with this schedule. And it just worked out so well, because even if I've been busy with school, it's not hard for me to, like, yes, I did get those books from my friend at school, and I just finished that haul. I ended up taking, like, 90% of them to the library to donate, but I did keep, like, I kept a couple of them, and I actually filmed a haul, and I will post that soon. I kind of forgot about it, so I'm glad you reminded me. But yeah, this schedule has been phenomenal with my reading. I was able to finish 4 books in 1 week. I finished The Hate You Give, If I Stay, The Cellar, and I think the Percy Jackson Greek Heroes book. And I've been, like, insanely busy with school. This has, like, been my busiest week of school this past week because of homework and just getting over the SATs and whatnot. But it hasn't been hard for me to just squeeze in, like, 75 pages of one book and a couple chapters of the other. Like, it's been surprisingly easy for me. And especially if you, like, do a physical book and then, like, an audiobook. You could read a certain amount of pages for the physical and then just read, like, an hour or so of your audiobook. And it works out great. I am insanely excited for my senior year because I'm set to take almost all electives except for English and a math class, and I only have to take 1 semester of a math class, and that's not even like an actual math class. It's financial literacy, which is kind of like a math elective. And I'm just so ready to be done. I'm just going to be taking, like, independent art, I think visions, which is like you get to do, like, stuff around the school and whatnot. And then I also signed myself up for psychology, which is like it's analyzing mental illnesses in children and stuff. That's what this semester psychology is anyway. And then I also signed myself up for, like, Michigan history, and I forgot the other one. Oh, folklore, fairy tales, and legends. And I'm so excited because one of my favorite teachers is teaching it. She's the one that taught Greek mythology and world mythology. And now she brought back the fairy tale class because I kept telling her I want to take it. I'm like, you have to get this class back. I want to take it. And she's like, I tried because you wanted it so bad, but they wouldn't let me. And she's like, and when the counselor came into her class and announced it, she's like, I did it. I'm like, yes. So I'm hoping enough kids sign up because that's going to be elective. I am so excited to take. But yeah, very excited for my senior year because we get out in May. And then I'm done with high school. American classes are pretty fun, but they do tend to offer more athletic classes or, like, woodworking classes and stuff like that more than they do artsy classes. Like, the robotics and gym classes and, like, all kind of that, they offer more than, like, they do artistic classes. I mean, we only have one art teacher, so she teaches advanced drawing, painting, intro, ceramics, and independent. And I've taken intro, painting, ceramics, and advanced. And so now I just have to take painting, and then the rest of my art classes I can just take independent studies. So that's cool. You have to take all the art classes, and yes, we are required to take English. I'm just going to be in English 12, which is British Lit, I think. And I think we need 24 or 25 to graduate. But yeah, I was sitting in on an English class the other day because, like, it was just a really weird testing schedule, and, like, only me and my friend were, like, the only ones in our first hour because the rest of them were, like, AM testers and we were PM testers. It was weird. But we had to sit into this class. It was full of seniors, and it was British Lit, and they're reading Frankenstein. So I'm like, I'm down for that. And also, the teacher that teaches it is so eccentric. We actually don't get to pick English at all. It's just strictly 11, 12, 10, 9. And then some of, like, you don't have to take English 12 or 11 if you take AP English, which I'm not taking AP English because you have to write an essay like every day. Logan's in it, and it's like, nope, 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 nope. But, yeah, I'm so excited to be done with school. I only have like 7 or 8 weeks left of my junior year, but yes. Yeah, I got another like 2 hours before the readathon. So yeah. I hope we have a significant amount of caffeine in the house because I know that I'll be fine for like an hour or two, but then I'll just like crash. So, thank you. I know that I probably shouldn't take a nap before because I just get way more tired. If you do a readathon tonight, email me. It's Jenna. No, that's not it. I forgot my email. I think it's gepringle934@gmail.com. Yeah. If you do a readathon, email me and we can encourage each other to stay awake. I tried to take a nap before my last readathon. It did not go well. I was so tired the whole time. The one time, I think I got a significant amount read. I remember I read They Both Die at the End and Gasp, and then I was working on another book, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah. I have a lot of housework to do tomorrow because of that book outlet Deagle I finagled with my father. So I have a lot of cleaning to do, so I might have to like find me an audiobook for that occasion. Because I don't want to lose valuable reading time. We'll see if I can find an audiobook for... I don't really want to read that audiobook though. Huh. Oh my god, no, I have it. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I'll be like, yeah, I can do this readathon. And then it'll be like 30 minutes before the readathon, I'm like, I can't do this, and I'll pass out. But I'm really determined to like stay up this time. I did it one time, and it was really hard, and I was so dead tired that I could like hardly even stay awake. Like when I was done with the readathon, I'm pretty sure I passed out. But I am determined not like I'm gonna sit in the most uncomfortable places possible to stay awake. Because I just really want to do it. I like watching successful readathons, so I want to do one. Yes! I found an audiobook for City of Bones. And it's available, so I'm going to borrow it. Do it! It's so good. Acomath is my favorite one in the series. I've reread it 3 times, and this is going to be my 4th. I actually reread it last month, but I can't like resist. I have to. So I just borrowed the audiobook for City of Bones just like that because it was available. Chapter 55 is right. That's my favorite chapter. Oh my god, there's 15 files. I was going to do 24 and 48, but I found like I didn't have enough temptation, and I just kept getting off track. Whereas so with the 24 hours, I'm like, I have to just get through this. But yeah, next weekend I can probably do it, but it's a little bit different when I'm at home because I always have so much stuff to do with the animals and like homework. I mean, I still have homework right now, but we all know I'm not going to do it until I get home. And then I'm going to be like, I have to do this because I have school in the morning. Yeah. Oh well. Very on brand of me. But I have an audiobook for City of Bones, which... Oh! I just realized I have more pages to get through tomorrow. So even if I finish my pages tonight, I still have more pages to get through tomorrow. Which my audiobook will come in handy for. I'll look to see if there's one for Court of Thorns and Roses, but I don't think there is. I hate homework. I don't actually even remember what I have. Oh, I have algebra homework and algebra and geometry. Go figure. Go figure. I hate math. I can just do my algebra homework at lunch. Nobody cares. Because I have to do my geometry homework at some point, though. Probably not until I get home, though. We're going to look up Court of Thorns Roses anyway. Yeah. Math is seriously the worst. I hate it so much. Court the Thorns and Roses. If you guys haven't gotten the Overdrive yet, you really should, because it is a savior. Yep, I was right. They only have ebooks, and they're all checked out. And I'm pretty sure the Percy Jackson ones are too. So, looks like we're just going the audiobook route with... Wait a minute. Yeah, that didn't work out. The only thing I have on my TBR for the rest of the month is Titan's Curse. My library doesn't require a code. I don't think. I never had to put in a code. Just my library number. But, yeah, the only thing I have on my TBR for the rest of the month is Titan's Curse, City Bones, and Akotar and Akomath. So if I finish, Akotar and Titan's Curse, I am doing really good. So I could, I could see if they have Siege and Storm on audiobook. I have not read any graphic novels. I have 2 of my Rick Riordan books in graphic novel. I have Lost Hero and Sea of Monsters, and they got turned into graphic novels. And I really want to read those, but I've never really gravitated towards actual graphic novels. I don't know why, but I just never have. I haven't read much poetry either, but I've had my eye on a couple of them, mostly by Amanda Lovelace. I have not read The Raven Boys, but I've been wanting to so bad. They just don't come on Book Outlet or Thrift Books, and I know it's been happening to me a lot lately that I'll want something, and then I'll wait for it to be on Book Outlet, and then it doesn't come, so I'll go buy it in full price, and then it'll be on Book Outlet 2 days after. So I'm kind of just waiting for them to get cheaper on Thrift Books. They've been on my wish list for since I got on BookTube. But that sounds like me. Story of my life. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to sacrifice $40 to the cause, or just get the first book and see how I like it. We're gonna check Thrift Books right now, even though I just spent $55 on Book Outlet. Oh my god, I can't handle myself. Raven Boys, did you mean the River book? No, I did not. Yep, Thrift Books has no cheap copies. They're all $17 because I want to get them in hardcover. My dad does have an Amazon Prime though, so maybe I'll go download the Amazon app and see what the prices are like on there. Oh no. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to add up all my transactions. That would be ugly. That is something to be proud of. Be proud of that. Definitely be proud of that. It would be pretty ugly if I added up all my transactions, because there's a lot of them. I'm currently trying to track down the most reasonable price for the Raven Boys, because I've been wanting to get that book for the longest time. People keep spamming my Instagram. But, yeah. It just got, like, really hot in my room, and now I'm, like... Actually, one of my favorite things about moving is packing up my books. I don't know why, like, I don't know why. Because all the boxes are so heavy, but, like... Actually, my books were the last thing to get packed up, but they were the first things to go back in my new room. Yeah, they were literally the first thing in there. I put the shelves in, and then I organized my bookshelf. Yeah. Before my bed even came in. Yeah. That's how I am. I have my eye on these bookshelves. So, completely Melanie, actually. I was watching her bookshelf reorganization, and she like had it panned out so you could like see all of her bookshelves. I'm like, oh my gosh, do you have those Billy bookcases from IKEA? And she's like, no, actually, I have the ones from Walmart. I'm like, oh, how much were they? And she's like, they were only $40 a piece, and they're like these huge 5 shelf ones. And I have my eyes on those, and they're white and they're tall, and they house a lot of books, and I want like 3 of them. Because the Billy bookcases from IKEA are like $250 for one. And that would be like $120 for 3 of them. But yeah, so would I. When I first started BookTube, I had like the hugest January and February haul. It was ridiculous. Like I spend an ungodly amount on books, but it's okay. I almost just typed Amazon in the Amazon search bar. What am I gonna do with myself? Can't handle myself. Okay, those are paperback. Why? Yes. I have not tried Scholastic, but there are a couple books that I want to read this month still. I just don't know how I'm gonna. I did not finish Winter and Cress. My audiobooks weren't coming in for Scarlet and Cress, and so I said, screw it, I'll just finish them some other month. And that some other month is probably gonna be next month. True, I don't really play on the Xbox like my brother is right now. He's like addicted to that thing. He never stops. Whoa. Are you serious right now? So, to get this on Amazon Prime, it's $11 for a hardcover. But it says more buying choices, and it says 116 used and new from $273. That's interesting. Books for sure that I plan on getting on my birthday is Court of Frost and Starlight. Yes, I believe you. But Court of Frost and Starlight, Court of Wings and Ruin in paperback, and Court of Thorns and Roses in hardcover, for sure. And then I also, with my birthday money, I want to get Legendary by Stephanie Garber, and The Burning Maze by Rick Riordan. Okay, this is irking me. They're all in acceptable condition. My dad won't let me pre-order it like myself. And I keep like telling him, do you know how to pre-order this, right? And he's like, yeah. And I still don't think he pre-ordered it. And I just want to get my Night Court pin. You know? Like, I saw on Sarah J. Maas's Instagram that whoever pre-ordered would get like this Night Court pin. But yeah, for my brother's birthday, he didn't really get like stuff. He got a prepaid Visa card. And he got $150 worth. So I don't think I'm in the place to bargain right now, considering I just blew a lot of money on books. But I know a very subtle hint would be to send in my birthday list again and like highlight the pre-order part. Maybe I should just like film a how-to pre-order thing and see if he gets the hint. But like I really want that book. It would be perfect if it just arrived on my birthday. Like I don't know how it works pre-ordering. I've never pre-ordered a book before, so I don't know how it works. Yeah, my dad has Prime and it's super nice, but like if you guys have pre-ordered a book before, does it come, if you use Amazon Prime, does it come on the day that it releases? Yes. I want to know that in specifics because if I pre-order Court of Frost and Starlight, I want it to come right on my birthday because I would just be like the happiest camper. Wait, what is the new Ransom Riggs book? I was not informed of this. What is this? But yeah, I've heard people have problems with pre-ordering through Barnes & Noble. But I have heard some good things about pre-ordering through Amazon Prime. So, and it's also really cheap through Amazon Prime. The fourth book in what? Fourth book in Miss Peregrine's? There's a fourth book? Oh my god. Okay, is there like deadass a fourth book in the Miss Peregrine series? Because I'm about to lose it. Oh my god, I thought that was a trilogy. I thought we were done with Library of Souls. Boy, that just made my night. Looks like October is going to be a very interesting release month because you have Escaping Houdini by Carrie Maniscalco and you have Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. And now that. And wow, I'm very excited. Sarah J. Maas is an autobi author. Yes! I'm like so shook with everything right now. Sarah J. Maas is like my autobi author. I don't know if you guys have heard me say it once or like 10 million times in my videos, but I would read that woman's grocery lists. She is like my favorite author. Yes! I have not read that book. I read mostly high fantasy. Or what's it called? Yes, please keep me updated because I'm very excited if there's a fourth book. Because I legit thought that series was done. And book 3. I'm sorry, I have a really bad habit of like that. That's also like a thing I have with like pen tops. If like my pen has I can't do it with my fancy pen anymore because I broke my fancy pen. It's taped together, now it doesn't click. Yes, I love... Okay, for the longest time, I didn't know they were married. But yeah, Shatter Me is phenomenal, and I just got, Furthermore. Yeah, that's actually part of the reason I'm reading Mortal Instruments. Rereading Mortal Instruments is because I really want to get to the Infernal Devices and Dark Artifices. Yes, I'm very excited for Furthermore. I think that was going to be on my TBR for possibly June. Maybe. I don't know. I hate reading books too close to when I get them because it's just like, I've had all these books on my shelves for so long, but you best bet I'm breaking that rule when I get Court of Frost and Starlight. Did you guys hear that Court of Thorns and Roses is being turned into a movie? Oh my god. Yes. I was like having a really bad day at school or something, and then I saw that, like, she posted it on my Instagram, and I did cry a little bit. I swear I did. I was just like so happy. I'm like, oh, there's a screenwrite for it. Oh my god. I'm actually not at home right now, so my formal shelves aren't here. Yes! I'm going to be so mad if they F up the casting. Yes. The Court of Thorns and Roses books are just so good, though. They're like not bad high fantasy. Like, the high fantasy that is hard for me to get used to is stuff like the Grisha trilogy. Like, the names and the magic system took me so long to like figure with his old Thor wig. Just got to do it. I actually have an Aquatar cast, but I don't have it on paper. It's in my notes app. Yes! I can't figure out who I want to play Rhysand. Like, there is no perfect person to play Rhysand because he's literally a god. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he just is too beautiful. Like, I can't find an actor suitable enough to play him. Like, if it came down to it, I would want Ian Somerhalder to play him because I love Ian Somerhalder. I just fan cast him as everybody. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like he's too short because he's short. But I could also fan cast like Henry Cavill. Yes! Henry Cavill could kind of do it, but he's too like chiselly. And he has like that Superman chin. I don't know. Reese doesn't have a Superman chin. Not that much of one anyway, because he's like actually Superman. I think it has somebody else's Rhysand, but now I don't remember who it was. I forgot. Ian Somerhalder, though. Tamlin has to be played by Chris Hemsworth. Tales of the... There is a book out called Tales of the Peculiar. It's short stories, or it's like stories that get told to the peculiar children. It's like their book of stories. Tamlin can choke. I hate him. But even though I am like a diehard Chris Hemsworth fan, nobody else can play Tamlin. He's just like the physique and image of Tamlin. Like, he is Tamlin with his, like, when he had his Thor hair. We're gonna just one moment. I want Jason Momoa to play Cassian. Yes. I know he's like super buff, but like Cassian is super buff. And I want Matt Daddario to play Azrael. Yep. We're gonna... Okay, Chris Hemsworth can't have short hair. He has to have his long hair. I will just make this a compelling argument as to why he has to be Tamlin. This is Tamlin, guys. No, like, okay, be real right now. This is, like, actually Tamlin. This is... No. Any fairy tale recommendations? This is a book channel. I'm just talking about fan casting for my favorite series right now because I don't even remember how it came up, but fairy tale recommendations. Well, yes! Agreed! He's like perfect. But fairy tale retellings. Actually, Court of Thorns and Roses is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. The Wrath and the Dawn is 1001 Nights retelling. I forgot. I like every time somebody asks me for recommendations, my mind goes blank. Another reference to why Chris Hemsworth should be Tamlin when they make a movie out of it. Yeah. It just has to be that way. We've kind of been talking about that. I've gotten a couple requests to make it like a book club. I do recommend City of Bones immensely. I love the Mortal Instruments. But yeah, I've been working with some of my viewers who wanted me to start a book club where we pick a book, we all read it, and then we have like a mid-book discussion, and then I live stream at the end. But right now, I'm just doing a readathon, and I'm kind of just doing a chat with my viewers. Hello, nice to see you. But, yeah, right now I'm just having a lighthearted fan casting chat. We're gonna look up Matt Daddario for Azriel right now. And then, yes. No. He's too chiselly perfect in that one. Oh, that's a hard one. Feyre is also a hard one for me. I'm starting the readathon at midnight, and between The Little Mermaid and Tangled. Azriel. And then I want Jason Momoa to play Cassian. I have not read that, actually. Matt is beautiful. This is who should play Cassian. He plays Aquaman. My god. My mom's also obsessed with him. He's too gorgeous for so good. Can't figure out who I want to play Rhysand, but if nobody else, I want it to be Ian. All these good-looking men. Aquatar just has to have the flawless cast. They just have to have... Yes, he could do it. He could play Rhysand. Why is this glare the way that it is? Hang on, let me turn my brightness down. He could play Rhysand. He could do it. I'm convinced. Shoot, I just exited out the thing. But fan casting has always been something I've been, like, obsessed with. See? He could totally play Rhysand. He could do it. Yeah, models are, like, always hard for me to name. It's like... I think his name is Sean O'Pry, the one that I saw. True. That's the problem. Ian Somerhalder is... Feyre is always one that I can hardly... Is there going to be a movie adaptation of Shadow and Bone? Elena Starkov. Oh, what's that girl's name? Oh, I know her name. I can't think of it right now. Oh, there it is. So, I think that she could play Elena. Or, what's that girl? The girl from Ready Player One. Netflix is being made. Ready Player One is being... I didn't know that either. Now I really have to read that. Okay, let me find this girl. My iPad's about to die. I just got, like, in the ultimate fan casting mode. Because I thought... Oh, yeah, I was thinking about Court of Thorns and Roses being turned into... See? She could play Elena, too. Olivia Cooke from Ready Player One. She could do it. I can never cast Feyre. She's the hardest one aside from Rhysand. But, like, I want Ian Somerhalder to play Rhysand. But she's the second hardest one for me to cast. Rex for the summer. Well, actually, I almost recommended The Fault in Our Stars, but that's definitely not lighthearted. I hardly read any contemporary, so it's so hard. But everybody recommends anything by Casey West, so I'm gonna try a couple of Casey West myself this summer. True. That's very true. I don't know. But lighthearted. I honestly don't know. But I always recommend the Percy Jackson series, even if they're not, like, light and fluffy contemporaries. They're very fun, witty, sarcastic, kind of like, what are they called? I'm not reading any audiobooks right now, but I did just get the audiobook for City Bones for when I clean tomorrow. I haven't, but I actually want to do that. Like, I was gonna... Ow. When they came out with the My Friend Dahmer movie, I saw the book floating around. I haven't read A Darker Shade of Magic, but I want to read that one too. I haven't seen it on Book Outlet. They only have Conjuring of Light. But yeah. I'm kind of debating if I want to post this or not. I probably will, though. My iPad just died. I was really sad when I heard about Avicii passing away. Like, I didn't know when we were in the car. So far in 2018, I believe I think I'm at like 20 something. 18. I'm at 26 right now, I think. But we were in the car when they said on the radio that he passed away, and then we switched stations, and then his song came on. Like, it was a completely different station. His song came on, and I like wanted to cry. So sad. But yeah, I think I'm at 26 books for this month. Or not for this month. Oh my god, I wish. For this year so far, I read 6 in January, February, and March. And then so far, I'm at 8. So, 26. I'm at 26, and I'm working on a couple more right now. The Hate You Give. I read most genres. There are a couple that I don't read hardly at all. I mostly read fantasy, and I read a little bit of dystopian and like contemporary, but I don't get to a lot of genres as much as I should. But yeah, I read most genres. I just don't get to a lot of them. Like, I've read historical fiction before, and I've read, what's that other genre? I read sci-fi sometimes, but it's not, those are just genres I don't pick up very often, and I don't pick up nonfiction very often either. Yeah, I don't really pick up nonfiction all that much, like, at all. I've hardly read any nonfiction, but it's not something that I've never read before. I have read nonfiction. But I've mostly been reading high fantasy books. I'm never going to stop recommending these books to people, like, probably ever. Shrek. I haven't read either of them, but I'm always going to go with Shrek because I love Shrek. That was my whole childhood. My nephew actually likes How to Train Your Dragon, though, because that's the movies that he grew up on. He didn't grow up with Shrek. He grew up with that. I'm going to write in my paperback. I was passive. I did not read that one, actually. But, yeah, once I get my hardcover of this one, I'm going to be writing in this one. Only problem is, how many times can I reread the Aquatar series in a year before I, like, get super annoyed with it? Never. Actually, I don't think I could ever get annoyed. Actually, that's not true. I've gotten annoyed with the series quite often, but I can never get sick of it. Yeah, I could never get sick of it, like, ever. I've already read this book once this year, and I'm about to read it again. I read it twice last year. Oh well. Chapter 55. Oh, I almost flipped right to it. I actually have not heard of her. I haven't heard of her. I just love the character development in Aquamath. Like, character development is everything in this book, and it just makes me want to cry just thinking about it, because everybody is so different. Like, This book has made me cry so many different times, and you guys should have seen. Yes! What is it with the chapter 55s? They like bring upon my ultimate OTPs. But if you guys had seen my original reaction video to the end of Court of Wings and Ruin, oh my god, it was so bad. I did not know that, actually. That's interesting. But my reaction to the ending was so bad. I felt so bad for the people who were watching my Snapchat because I was like bawling my eyes out. And then I recorded it as like a snippet to be put in a vlog, but I couldn't post it because I was like hyperventilating. So, I still have the video on my camera, but it is so embarrassing. Because what are you gonna do when you're... It was so bad. I honestly just crack up when I think about it now because I was so ridiculous. But I know fully well that, like, anytime I read it, I cry just as hard. But, like, when I think back on it when I'm not reading the book, I just find it hilarious. I actually reread it. I think... No, I didn't reread it. But the first time I read it was so bad. I was crying so hard at the end, and I have a feeling you know what part I'm talking about. I was sobbing. Like, there was a point where, like, I literally couldn't breathe because my nose was, like, so stuffed up. I was hyperventilating. Like, the video, I'm such an ugly crier, so that video was so bad, but, like, I did throw my book, and I regret it because I got a little rip in the back page, but, I can never post that video because it is so bad, but I'm never gonna delete it either because first impressions on your favorite series are important. That book, it was such an emotional roller coaster. The memories. But yeah, I should start wrapping up soon, so feel free to ask me any questions you guys have. And I will actually post this video because I said some important announcements that I feel like you guys should be able to see. So yeah, feel free to ask me questions because my readathon starts in, I don't know, because my iPad died. Which is the one? By Your Side, I think is the one that I have that I really want to get to. I have The Fill-In Boyfriend and By Your Side, but the first one of hers I want to read is By Your Side. A readathon is basically where you set aside a certain amount of time to just binge read, like, all night. And Zoe from Read by Zoe, she is like the master of readathons, and I'm losing a lot of sleep tonight, but I'm feeling in a readathon mood. But you should totally do a channel. I mean, I felt the same way. I was only watching BookTube for like a solid 3 weeks before I'm like, oh my god, this looks so fun. I want to do this. And I tried it. And I was like really discouraged at first, but then I just started doing it, and I've like never felt so confident and open about talking about books. But yes, it's on YouTube. Her channel is Read by Zoe, and she does a lot of readathons, and they're super awesome, and I love watching them. And now I'm gonna do one tonight because I'm just so excited, and I'm very awake right now. 5 years old. Is The Raven Boys more than 5 years old? Because that's a series I want to read. So it's like audiobook for us. A readathon is just... No, a readathon is just reading for a really long period of time. Like, for example, I'm about to host a 24-hour readathon, and I'm also going to drink so much coffee tonight. But I'm gonna have to like make the pot beforehand so that I don't wake up anybody. I'll probably make it like right on midnight, drink a cup, and then I should be good for a couple hours. But yeah, you should definitely do a channel. I always encourage people because it's a really nice community. Like, I have never met a more welcoming community than BookTube. Thank you for coming. I appreciate your engagement in the conversation. But yeah, I have never met a more kind and welcoming community than BookTube. I've received no negative flashback since I've been on here, and I've been on here for a year. And I've received literally no negative comments or negative, like, feelings in general. Like, everybody is so positive and open-minded and kind on here. And it's just, like, such a confidence and, like, mood, like, uplifter. Because, like, I can say my opinions, like my actual opinions on books, and you guys will be like, oh my gosh, that's so weird because I really like this book, but like nobody will be rude about it. And it's just such a great community, and I was so nervous to do it. Like, if you go back and watch my intro video, I was so nervous, but yes, you should just do it. It's so much fun once you get into it. I never thought that I would be here a year later with almost 350 subscribers. And it's like such a welcoming community. I used to hate public speaking, but I mean, granted, I'm not like physically around anybody, but you guys are still people, even if I'm speaking to you across the web. I'm still more comfortable. I'm so comfortable knowing that now that it's like, BookTube has helped me a lot because I get to talk about my opinions to others, and I also engage with you guys a lot with these Q&As, and also just through my comment section and when I do like giveaways and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I'm still trying to overcome. Yes, I know there will always be the trolls, but I haven't really found myself into them yet. Everybody in the BookTube community has been very kind to me. And I really appreciate it. My mom actually did recently find my channel. My nephew told her about it. And I was a little bit afraid of that because my mom, oh, that's so sweet to say. My mom has always been more, she's the one that's like, oh my gosh, you need to do something other than read books. But, yeah, so I got past it. People at school still don't really know that I BookTube. My best friends do. Rachel and Lindsay know, and Brianna knows. But not very many people like that I'm friends with know. But that's okay because like I don't want them to know. And not in like a rude way. It's just like not something that they're interested in. It's like if somebody I knew was really interested in books, which there's like nobody in my school that's super interested in books, I would tell them about it. I wish I could get my parents into reading. My mom used to be a really avid reader, and no matter how many books I pass down to her, she just doesn't read anymore. And my dad claims he tries to read, but he can't. And he's just not into the same genre as I am. My brother, I convinced him to buy Throne of Glass, but he can't read it. Well, he says, there's too many characters and names to memorize. So, yeah. You guys on BookTube are like the only people I have to actually like confide in stuff, like about books that I've been reading, because nobody around me reads. Like, none of my friends read. My family doesn't read. So I'm like the only person in my family tree that is like an avid book reader. Actually kind of depressing. That's also why I joined book club, but like even at book club, I'm one of the only ones that actually reads the whole book. There are maybe like 2 other people. The struggles of modern technology means that hardly anybody actually enjoys reading anymore. I think my mom's friend reads a lot, and we used to talk about books a lot, and she's the one that got me into Twilight. But she doesn't like read much of my genre anymore. Oh, I've been trying to click on my iPad, only realize it's dead. So yeah, I could answer like a couple more questions. Yeah, that's always hard. That's another thing with BookTube. I've been buddy reading with Melissa from Sassy Ginger Book Obsession, and I made her as a very great friend on BookTube, and it's so nice because like you have these people who have literally like the same exact taste in you as you in the same exact taste as you do in books, and it's like so awesome. And plus, like when I first make friends on BookTube, when they give me a shout out on their channel, it's like such a great feeling. And I don't know, like when she first mentioned me in her like small booktubers tag, I cried, if I'm being honest. I totally cried. 'Cause I don't know. I can't even explain why I cried, but like I just did. But yeah, I have time for like 2 more questions because I've been on here for an hour and 10 minutes, which that goes to show just how much I love talking to you guys because I totally lose track of time. Oh my god. That means the readathon's gonna start soon. Don't worry, I'll be a subscriber of yours. I enjoy encouraging the new booktubers just like people did for me. Plus, I always love watching new content. Let's see what time it actually is. Come on, turn it on. Oh my god, why is it taking so long to turn it on? Let's see how much time I got. Need to make some coffee. My dad's probably gonna yell at me. He's like, no, you need your sleep. Oh wow. It is, of course you're not gonna show me the time until 10:30. I have about an hour and 30 minutes. So I have read a couple biographies, but I haven't really been in the mood for nonfiction lately. I've just been like in such a mood for fantasy novels. I just love them. Can't get enough of them. I have like so much stuff to do. I have to get my maze scheduling up to like make it and plan out how I'm gonna do my buddy reading. I will end pretty darn soon, probably around like 10:30 for me, so that's only like another minute or so. So if you have any more final questions, ask them because I really do need to end this video. All of my Q&As end up so long, even if I don't intend them to be. The struggle is real. I've actually never heard of that. But thank you. If you do decide to join me, make sure you shoot me an email and we can talk about it. And if you also decide to do a booktube channel and you need some pointers, I can also give you some for that because yeah, I know it can be stressful and like scary, but I promise it's like so worth it. Sorry, I was reading an SCT email. Okay. But, yes, so once again, I will probably post my email in the description. You really should, honestly. I was super nervous, but once you post the first video, it's like smooth sailing. I would recommend doing like an introduction video where you like talk about yourself a little bit, like just a little bit. You don't want to give them like too much information. I haven't done book reviews yet, but I want to do it. It's just like I'm not the best at reviewing books, so I've been watching a lot of people's book reviews to try to like get some tips on how to do them. I did one, but it had a lot of spoilers in it, so I deleted it. But yeah, my tip is to film an introduction as like your first video, so that people know more about you, and tell them like what your favorite genres are and stuff like that. Like your favorite genres, what you like to read, some like just a couple of your favorites maybe, or like your hobbies and what else you do besides reading. But yeah, I really need to like get on doing more reviews, but it's just hard for me because I forget for one. And yeah, you could do that too. It's a good idea because it wasn't around when, well, it probably was around, but it like wasn't going around booktube when I first started. Um, but yeah, I haven't done book talks because I'm just bad at them. But I do put reviews on all of the books that I read on my Goodreads, which is just my booktube, or which is just my YouTube handle. Just type it into the Goodreads, and that's the same. And it's also the same for my Instagram. But yeah, I want to start incorporating them. I just don't really know where to start, so I have to watch more book talks and stuff like that. It's just like hard because, yeah, that'd be awesome. It's just hard because I'm like really bad at not spoiling. But yeah, so this has been a ginormous Q&A, and without further ado, I'm going to start. I read both hardcover and paperback, but I also have a Kindle, and I don't read very much on there at all, but when I do, I read audiobook or ebook. But I prefer to read paperback. But yeah, this has been an extremely long Q&A, and now I'm going to go off to prepare for my readathon. Make some coffee, find some caffeine and some snack food, and then I'm going to start reading my pages for City of Bones so that I can get straight into Court of Thorns and Roses. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A because I certainly enjoyed talking to you guys. That's a great idea. I'm going to see if my dad has some popcorn. Once again, thank you guys for joining me. I absolutely adored talking to you all. This was so much fun. This is by far like one of my favorite Q&As I've done because it was just so fun. And yeah, I hope to see you all when you see my readathon vlog. Hopefully going up. I have a vlog to post tomorrow, but we're not even gonna think about that. It's readathon mode. I'm gonna do it. Yes, shoot me an email when you're doing your readathon. Can use each other for moral support. But yeah, thank you all for watching again, and thank you for joining this Q&A.